Hi everybody, it's Wendy Keys Turnbull, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in my weekly Tuesday night live. And hang on just a second, let me get myself set up here. Okay, so as I said, it's my regular Tuesday night live, Facebook Live. And Tonight I'm going to be showing you how to make a peek through card. And you can see here, this card that I made earlier today. You can see all the way through it. So there's the front and there's the inside. And I'll show you how to line everything up so it all fits. And I'll show you what to do to make the back look good. Okay, so here's the host code, good for at least another week. I'm hoping I can make it so that it's good for, oops, hang on, I didn't make it big here so I can look at it. There we go. Please let me know that you can hear me because I have muted my computer, but you should be able to hear me, hopefully through my iPad. Okay, so this is the host code, good through at least till the 11th. There is a link at the top of this page if you need it. And also make sure that you say hi if you're watching so I know who to include in my prize patrol tomorrow. Okay, so as I said, this is the card that we're going to make something like this. We're not going to make this card. So what I used for this was, I believe this is the Stylish Shapes dies, this tag here. I actually embossed on the plastic. And I used this, which I can't remember where I got this, somewhere online, embossable window plastic, but I have to warn you that it actually, it will curl up and get misshapen if you're not careful. So when you're embossing on, why can't I remember what this is called? When you're embossing on the window sheets, I'm just going to call them window sheets, make sure that you don't use the gun. So what I did was I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So go from front to back and make sure you're turning it a lot so that you don't get any warpage. There is a little bit of warpage in this, but you really can't tell because of the way I did it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the Sending Smiles. Oh my gosh, my iPad screen is filthy, so I can't see what you guys are seeing. The Sending Smiles stamp set. And we're going to be using a basic white card base, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, so folded to be a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. And we're going to be using Tahitian Tide, Sweet Sorbet, and Parakeet Party for our colors. Okay, and I'm using a stitched circle die. Yep, I think that's where it's from. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut. I'm going to put the blue, the Tahitian Tide on the front and the Sweet Sorbet on the inside. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut an opening, a window, if you will. And what I want to do is I want to make this as even on the card as possible. I want it to be like the same distance from the top and each side, maybe a little bit closer to the top, if anything. I'm just gonna put this on here just to be safe. And I'm gonna put this on here. Here we go. Where is everybody? Okay, I'm going to take that out, save that for another project. There's my first one. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that one up, the Tahitian Tide rectangle up with my Sweet Sorbet. And I'm going to put this in there, and it's going to lock into place. All right, we're going to run this through again, making sure that everything's lined up. Oops, came off a little bit there. There we go. Hi, Collie. You can hear me okay, right? All right. Oh, it moved, didn't it? I believe it did. No, it didn't. It's okay. All right. Okay, good. All right, so then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the card base. So, Collie, if you weren't watching at the very beginning, this is what we're doing. This is a see-through card or a peek-through card. So it's clear all the way through. And I'm going to show you how to make this. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the same circles out of our card base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up how I want it to be on the card base. That looks good. And I'm going to, just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and stick tape on each end because I don't want it to move while I'm lining this up. And then I'm going to line this up in the center circle there. And I'm going to put a little piece of tape over that just to hold it in place. And we're going to run this side through. So it's really better to do one of them at a time. You could cut both of these out at the same time, but I think it would put a really deep indent in the underneath one or the top one. All right, so we'll take that off and move the tape from here without peeling this. So this washi tape I actually stuck to my leg and my pants so that it wouldn't be quite so tacky. I mean, it's not supposed to be tacky, but it does tend to tear if you're not careful. Okay, and then we're going to take this, fold it, put this on, make sure that it locks into place so that you know that you're in the exact right place. There we go. And we're going to roll her through again. Oh, there's one more person watching. Make sure you say hi or whatever you feel like saying. Okay, get rid of that. Save that for another project. Okay, so now we have our card and we have our two mats, one for inside of the card and one for outside of the card. Whoops, I see that came off on there. Good thing I didn't roll that through. Put that on, back on the block where it belongs. Okay, let's get that out of the way and start assembling. Before we assemble, the next thing I want to do is, this is going to be the card front. I want to run this through an embossing folder. And this one is, and I forgot to write down the name of it, but it's one of the trio of embossing folders that you can get in the online exclusives. So actually it probably doesn't even have a name. I like to line it up basically with the bottom line there. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't really matter. I do want it to be even though. There we go. And I'm just gonna run over here and do this. I'll be right back. There we go. It's a lot quicker than trying to figure out what pieces went, what bases I would need. All right, so before we do any of that, we're going to want to put, so I cut these out using a slightly larger die of the same set, as you can see there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the front of this window and this is going to be different because the other one I did had sides and no curves. So I used the Terran tape, which I'm going to do. I'm going to use this little skinny one because I can twist it around if I can find the end. This little skinny Terran tape came in a paper pumpkin kit. So you can take the regular size Terran tape and you can cut it down to size if you want to use something skinny, but really it doesn't have to be. I could just do this. I think this is going to be fine once I pull the red cover off. You could just do this with thick tape and just do a strip here and a strip here and a strip here. You don't really have to go around the circle. It's not that crucial that it be circular. It's a little bit off. There we go. I'm being very careful not to let it get inside of the circle. I don't need any sticky stuff sticking out. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead. I probably can tear that, but I'm not going to take the chance. I'm just going to cut it. All right. And now if I take this red piece off, the red covering, I should be able to flatten that tape right down when I put the window on it. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do this. Whoops, let me get that out of there. I'm going to do this. So I'm not embossing this piece of plastic like I did. Hi, Vicki. Hi, Bev. Okay, like I did this one, I embossed. So those of you who are just joining, go back and watch the beginning so you'll hear my tips about, and notice I embossed them in a different spot there so they would show through the front. Tips about embossing on a window sheet, because I can't remember what this is called because my brain is fried. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on here, obviously. So I think I'll just go ahead and use, excuse my reach. I'll just go ahead. I want to make sure that everything's going to touch because of the embossed, folder embossed front. I want to make sure that it's going to stay attached to the front of the card. That's probably good enough. Whoops, nope, let's put a little bit over here. Okay. All right. What do you mean, Kali, you can never get your embossing to arc? Is it not really embossing? Is that what you're saying? If that is, oh, to work. Okay. Bring me, next time you come over, bring your embossing machine with you and any pieces that come with it, and I'll see if I can help you with that. Okay, so there's the front. Now let's go ahead and put this part on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and put another acrylic circle there. Where did my sheet of circle go? That's interesting. Did I put them both on the... Gosh, I hope not. I don't think so. I just put glue marks on that, darn. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so we're going to do this again. You know what? I'm going to do it the way I suggested so that you guys can see what I mean. I'm just going to use wider straight tape. No, I didn't really want it to go that far, but that's okay. It won't hurt anything. It's going to, oh, it might hurt something a little bit right on the edge here. Let's get that off. Okay. Go ahead and cut that off because we don't want that to stick out underneath our mat. Okay. Be a little more careful with it this time. So it doesn't really matter how well you tape this up. Unlike when you're doing a shaker card and you have to make sure there's no openings, this is going to be covered by a piece of cardstock, so it really doesn't matter if you can't get in there. Or if you can get in there, I guess I would say. Okay, one more. Good enough. Okay, so I'm going to make sure those are all sealed down. Then we're going to quickly take the coverings off. Oops. Oops. Stuck to my finger. I think that one picked the whole tape up. Yep, it did. That's okay. There we go. Two more. Whoops. And one more. And okay, so then this just goes on here. You just want to make sure that it's covered. And then I am going to go ahead and use tear and tape on the rest of this. Make sure I've got it going the right way. Yes, I do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use tear and tape on the rest of this since it's not embossed. I don't really have to worry about making sure that it all stays down. It will all stay down. Tear and tape is a really handy tool because it's extra sticky. So you know that it's going to stick and it's going to stay where you put it. And one across here. Okay, let's get those all off now. And this one feels like the whole paper's coming off, so, or the whole tape is coming off. There we go. Got it. Yes, and it was, you can see. And then, whoops, that one, the whole thing's coming off again. Gotta get under there in the right spot. There we go. Okay, then this is going here, and we want to line it up with the circle, but we also want to make sure that it's even where we want it on here. Okay, whoop. Not quite. Oh well. Let's see what happened on the back. Just a little bit over there. Okay, that's all right. All right, so we've got our peekaboo window. Sorry about the, see if I can get that off. I can probably get it off with a little bit of hand sanitizer. Works for everything. I just don't want to get it against the cardstock and make a mess of my cardstock. Well, it's better than it was. I will fight with it later. Okay, so the next step we have to do is we're going to put sending in the middle. And I'm going to cut that out of the Parakeet Party. Get my little machine up here. And you'll see that I already cut the base out of white, the outline out of white. So let's go ahead, cut this out of the Parakeet Party. Sorry if I'm shaking everything. Okay, and that is that. Oops, just roll it in there so it goes on the shelf I have it on. Okay. All right, so here we are. Wonder where everybody is tonight. Okay, I think I said that last week too, though. And many people showed up, or the week before. One of those things. Okay, let's get all these out of here. One in the E, one in the Y, the one in the E once, there it goes. Okay, and then we'll get this out the rest of the way. Okay, and we've got our shadow. So this is going to go on here, and I just realized that I lost the dot for my eye. Is it still in there? Nope. Might be on the plate still. Let's see if it's on the plate here. I don't see anything. Yep, there it is. Huh, how about that? Okay, there we go. Keep an eye on that. Need to get new plates. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to this. Excuse me for reaching again. I'm going to hang on to this with, oh, let's see, we'll put it right there. And I'm going to use my little skinny bottle. This is Tombow glue, just placed into this bottle to make it easier to get tiny amounts out. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put it on here, tiny amounts. Maybe. As long as I get a little bit everywhere. and not a lot in one place. We'll be fine. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm doing different on this one compared to the birthday one that I made for my sample in a minute when I'm into the next part. Okay. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and place it down, starting with the G. If only I could get it to line up right. And working our way over to the S. And the nice thing about using the glue is that I have time to move it around and get it where it's supposed to be. My fingers are stuck to it. That's not a good thing. Yeah, I just took off part of the end, but it'll be okay. Oops, and I see that I got it. Oh boy, it's all sticky, you guys. Okay, get that up here. That's why I like doing live. You get to see what really happens instead of on a pre-recorded video where I can clean it up and do extra tapes and splice everything together. Of course, I also don't know how to do that, so edit a video. I mean, I could figure it out without too much trouble, but I don't want to. Okay, and then the last thing we have to do is we have to put that little dot for the eye on. We're just going to do it this way. Going to put a little bit of glue there. We're going to pick up, I think I'm going to use out. Other side of this. Okay. Oh, that is right. Okay. Oh boy, it is stuck to my take your pick tool. There we go. All right. Okay. Then this is going to go across the window like this. And I am going to use the glue for that as well. Boy, that's sticky. Look, I have green cardstock stuck to my finger. So I'm just going to put a little bit all the way around it, all the way across it. Okay. And I'm going to center it as best we can. Whoop. The inside. We're going to move to, and I'm going to take, I cut out an extra one, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that on here so that the messiness isn't showing through. This part probably isn't really necessary, but I'm just going to make it look as neat as I can. So I like how it has the little outline on it. I don't know if you can tell, but okay, we're going to line this up with that one. We're going to stick her down. We're going to look through the window, make sure we've got her lined up. I got some glue there that I don't want there. But yes, it's lined up. Okay, so that's part of the front of the card. We'll decorate that in a few minutes. Let's go ahead and do the inside. So for the inside, instead of putting, so on this one, you'll see that I put the same thing on the inside. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And then I just put a stamped a sentiment down there. I'm going to do my sentiment across the window, but I don't want it to show behind sending. So I'm going to do it in a very thin little strip. And the sentiment is going to say, all the good luck your way. So sending all the good luck your way. And I'm going to do this one in green also, just to keep my colors coordinated. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp it as close to the bottom or the top of the page as I can. And because I can't look right down on it because then my head would be in your way, I'm just going to do the best I can. All right, there we go. That turned out pretty good. And then, hit my lip, the outside of my lip. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this down to 1/4 inch, which is not going to be an easy thing to do with my sticky hands. But I think I can do it. Oh, I hope it doesn't cut it off. Almost, but not quite. Did good. Okay, so now, because I want to get this so that it's under there completely and can't be seen from the front of the card, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first of all, I could use a little skinny tear and tape for this. I think I will. Okay. Ugh. All right, hang on a second, guys. I gotta get this stuff off of my hands. Hi, Julie. Hi, Claudia. Make sure that you go back and watch the beginning because I'm almost done with the card and I want you to see what we're doing here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little thin strip of tear and tape here. And again, this is tear and tape that I got in a paper pumpkin. You can always take a roll of tear and tape and you can slice it down the middle if you wanted it to be thin. Or you could put the full thing on and then fold it over on itself so that none of it is showing on the outside. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to use this little tiny tear and tape. I'm going to cut it off here. Hopefully none of the plastic will, or none of the adhesive will be there. Whoops, I just cut the end of my, yeah, just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take the protective covering off. Okay. And like I said, I want, oh, I'm taking the tape off too. Hang on. I'm going to have to glue that tape down there. Okay, there we go. All right, I am going to go ahead and I want it to be like this. So I'm going to go like this and I'm going to put it behind here. Make sure that none of it shows on the front. Oh, it does. I'm going to have a problem with that. Well, just going to do the best I can. Nope, it's not going to work. Rats. Okay, I do want to do this right. So instead of smiles, sunshine to brighten your day, we're going to do a shorter one. I'm going to do love and big hugs. I think that would be a good one. Plus it's one that's never been used. Okay. Get that off of there. Get this on here. Do it on this one. We can do that. Love and big hugs. See, I really don't care if the white shows through. It's the green that I don't want to show through the words. Sorry, let's see. So now I'm going to cut this one at 1/4 inch, which is going to be really interesting to, yeah, that's what I thought. Because my hands are so sticky, I'm having a hard time. Get up there. There we go. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and cut it off here, and I'll just make up for it. You'll see. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and we'll do that again with this. And I'm not going to stick it down there until after I've cut off there we go. Okay. That loose. Good. Okay, I am going to put this, it is really stuck to my hand. Okay, I'm going to put this over here because that's the part where it's going to show the least. It's just going to show a tiny bit and it's not going to be green. That's good. And then I'm going to carefully close this and there we go, so that I have sending love and big hugs. So this would have been really good to have that embossed, but what I'm going to do is I already cut a strip here, and I am going to put this, and what I'm going to have to do is make sure, I'm going to have to get my fingers sticky, because I don't want there to be a line there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spread that glue out so it all goes on there evenly. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it on here, right over that. And there we go. All right, now, Okay, so my picture is flitting in and out. I hope it's not doing that for you guys. It's on, but oh yeah, I have really sticky fingers. Hi, Christine. That's okay. Hi, Bev. Yeah, so make sure you go back and watch from the beginning so you'll know what we're doing. Okay, so to decorate this, I already stamped and cut out 2 flowers to decorate the front. I didn't do anything for the inside yet. I thought I'd do that with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. Oh gosh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Guys, my thing just went back to the beginning. What the heck? Okay, phew. That was close. My picture just suddenly froze at the very beginning. So I don't know how it got back to the very beginning, but it did. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to lay this like this. And we're going to put this flower. I think I'm going to pop this flower over it. Typically, I would use more than one pop dot dimensional. And then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this one here. I was thinking about cutting some of that off, but you know what? I think not. I think we'll go ahead and put it on just like that. All right. This, oh good, I'm glad that you guys didn't lose me. It was very scary. I thought suddenly I got bumped off or something. So, okay, and we'll put 2 dimensionals on this one, just because it's a little bit bigger. All right, and that's gonna go here like this. Very nice. Okay, so we have sending, love and big hugs. So now I can just stamp directly on here, or I can do cutouts and glue them on. What do you guys want me to do? Do you want me to just stamp the flowers directly on there, or do you want me to glue them on white and cut them out? If I stamp them on here, they are going to be a little bit different colored. They're not going to show up as vividly, but that's sometimes okay, and sometimes good inside of a card. So I'm just going to wait and see if you guys have an opinion. Okay, did I clean that? No, I didn't. Okay, nobody's saying anything yet. Somebody offer. Should I stamp right on the inside, or should I get a piece of white and stamp out some flowers and die cut them and glue them in? Cutouts. Okay, I got 1 for die cutting. Anybody else? Y'all have the same opinion? I actually tend to lean that way too. Okay, Vicky says stamp on the inside. Your choice, either will look good, but I've got 2 that say die cut. So let's go ahead and do die cut. Let me grab a little piece of white paper here, some scraps to work on. Oh good, there's a couple of bigger pieces in here. Okay, so we will stamp. Whoops, I think I'll just do 1 flower in here. There is a bigger, this one, there's a bigger stem, so we'll do that. There's the stem. And, oh, look, so we can do 2 flowers on it. Okay, good. And I'm going to let 1 flower show through the bottom of the circle onto the front of the card. Okay, and then we are going to stamp So the flowers on the front are red with blue centers. So the flowers inside, hi Cheryl, are going to be blue with red centers. Oh, let me close this before I get it all over me. Okay, blue flowers. That was good. Okay, that's all right. At least I caught it. Blue flower. Ooh, that's pretty. Blue flower. Oop. And do another one. Okay, that's better. I like that better. All right, and then, oops, then Aunt Bev said stamp, but I already started doing this, so maybe I'll stamp one on there too. Okay, and then our little red centers. Where did those go? Oop, that fell off. Okay, our red centers. So this red center goes on this one. Well, that's much better than I did the first time. And then this center goes in this one, and it does not match perfectly. Leaves a little white around it. There we go. Done. Just let me get those cleaned up so I don't forget to clean them up. Okay, run these through real quickly. If I use the big one, I can do them all at once. So we'll use the big one. So I need this die. All right, where are you? My goodness. It's harder to line up than you'd think. Okay, so there's the bottom of that. You know, it looks like maybe the stamp was spread out a little bit too much. We're going to take a chance that that's right. See what happens. Is anybody else having problems with my voice cutting out? All right, and then this will go here. Make sure I get it lined up right. And I'll put another little piece of tape there, just a little tiny one. And where? There it is. It's the other one. Okay. There we go. Okay. So, Bev, it might just be your internet, or it might be that if you watch the replay, it won't cut out, like the issues that I have. All right, so there's that, and this, and this, and I'll take care of that in a couple of minutes. Put this away, get it out of my way. Okay, so I am going to go ahead. I'm going to put this like this. Yeah, see that one? It must be that when I put it on when I put the stamp on the block, I must have stretched it a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put, oh, I can't do that because it's going to show through as white. So I'm not going to be able to have it show through. Okay. I could mirror stamp but on the back of it, but that'd just be too much work. So we're just going to go ahead and do this. All right, so let me go ahead and glue this down. I might be able to stamp it on there. The only problem is that I would need to use a StazOn to get it to stay on. And that means I have to do it in black, but I could color it. Nope, that won't work either because the blends would stay on it, but can't color blends on an ink pad or on on a stamp because it'll ruin the stamp. So on these, we obviously can't pop. Okay, so Bev is having hesitation and the video comes back on. And Cheryl is having some problems with sound. Guess it all depends. Kylie's closest, so maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why she's not having any problems, because she's in town here. Although Christine is too. Christine hasn't answered, so. Okay, so still have room to write your little message here. So let me, do I dare? No, I'm not going to do anything else. I think that I want to keep it safe. I just want to make sure there's no glue there that's going to stick to this when I close it. Okay, so we have my sample, Happy Birthday, in which I embossed on acetate, the word finally came to me, in which I embossed on acetate, Happy Birthday. And by the way, these balloons are, the raccoon is holding them in the Zany Zoo. That's where that stamp came from. So, and you notice that I lined up the Happy Birthday over the Happy Birthday on the inside, and then I put an outline of it on the backs so that it was neater. And then sending, and this time instead of putting sending inside too, I put love and big hugs. I need to put something there. I might just attach a little piece of ribbon there. I might pull this off and put a little piece of ribbon there just to make it look better. I think I might do that. So that is what I have for you today. Thanks, Christine. Yes, and these are the 21-23 in colors, Claudia. Or are these the, yeah, these are the 21-23 in colors. Parakeet Party Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian Tide, and then the other two are Starry Sky and Orchid Oasis. Had to go back and look. Okay. So make sure that if you're watching this, you have said hey or said something so I can include you in the prize patrol tomorrow. And I will be back next week with something else. And thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see some of you soon. Oh, let me just quickly show you the cards for next month or for this month, because I haven't shown them to anybody yet. So this is for the card class, the card workshop taking place on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I believe it's the 14th, 15th, 16th of October. So another week and a half or so. Hang on, let me just pull them all up here. In the meantime, my picture has disappeared, but it's all right. One card to get out. And the project for this month. You guys can actually help me with this, because the project for this month, I haven't been able to, there's one decision that I have to make. Let me just roll this again and see if I can get my picture back in. Whoa, it just disappeared completely. There it goes. Okay, so here we go. So these are the project. We are going to make 2 gift card holders for Christmas time. Now my question is, and you're going to make 2 with 2 different designer series papers. My question is, do you want just a plain back like that with it? And those of you who don't come, you can still vote too. Or do you want a back where you can write to and from? Actually, my intention was to stamp to and from on there, but I couldn't find a to and from stamp. So let me know which way you like it, with the plain back or the back with the to and from tag on it. Okay, and the cards, you may recognize this one from my live a couple of weeks ago when I did the foiling without using foil plates, or if you'll remember, I used my laminator, and I did use foil. But this, because I didn't want you guys to have to go through that, I've decided to use embossing powder in the background of it. So let me see if I can find the stamp. Here it is. Here's the sample I did on the live, and I do prefer that, but I think this is really cute too. And then on the inside is congratulations on your new little one. So there's that one. Then there is this one, Let's Celebrate. Isn't that cool? And I left it open because you guys can decide what you want to stamp inside for the celebration. And then this is what I did on the envelope. All right, and then there is I'm Thankful Today and Every Day with a grateful heart. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the stamp sets for these. I can tell you later, a lot of them came from the online exclusives, and there's what I did. Don't mind that. I dropped it on the ink pad, but there's what I did with the envelope there. And then, is that 1, 2, 3? Yep, and then this is the fourth one. Happy birthday. Wishing you all the happiness in the world. So the stamp set, let me see if I can remember this right. The stamp set is from the mini catalog. The paper is from the online exclusives, and it's made to match the stamp set. Hi, Kathy. You're going to have to watch the video because I'm just about done. I'm just showing the cards for next month. So, and that's what I did with the envelope for that one. So those are the ones. Those are the 4 cards. And so the 4 cards. And then the project is making the gift card holders. And these are dies that are online exclusives. The gift card holder is a set of dies to make the holder. So again, let me tell you guys, let me know when you're watching this if you would prefer to have a blank back or a back where you can put a tag that says to and from. Okay, thanks for watching. I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.